So in today's class we will study about the types of connective tissue. We all know that connective tissue is present just below the epidermal tissue and it is separated by the basement membrane present in the epidermal tissue. Now we have seen the structure of structure of connective tissue. Okay, that consists of ground matrix, fibers and all. Now there are various types of connective tissue. Okay, so the first type is blood. Second is bone and cartilage. Okay, while blood is the fluid connective tissue, it is present in the form of fluid. Then bone and cartilage support the body, so they are known as supportive tissue. Supportive tissue. Now the ligament and tendon, they are known as the dense tissue. Dense tissue. Or they are also known as the fibrous tissue because they may be present in the form of fibers, so they are known as fibrous tissue also. Now the alveolar tissue and adipose tissue are loose connective tissue. Are loose connective tissue. So these are the types, that is blood, bone, cartilage, ligament, tendon, areolar and adipose tissue are the types of connective tissue. So in today's class we will deal with the blood, that is the first type of connective tissue. So blood is the form of fluid connective tissue. It is the only connective tissue which is present in the form of fluid. So it is a form of fluid connective tissue. Now if we talk about the composition of blood, blood mostly consists of water and the solid particles embedded in it. So how much percentage of water is present? That is 78% water and 22% solid materials. Now if you talk about the solid materials, what are the solid materials? Solid materials are the components of the blood which are embedded in the extracellular matrix. We all know about the extracellular matrix. Okay, that consists of ground substance and fibers. So this 22% solid materials of blood are present in the extracellular matrix. Now what are those? They are RBCs, WBCs and platelets. So these are the components of blood. Now blood, what is the function of blood in our body, what it does, how it is known as connective tissue? Because it transfers the gases, it transfers the nutrients, okay, it transfers the waste materials from the body, okay. So that's why through the transportation it connects the one organ or the one part of the body to the other. That's why it is known as the fluid connective tissue, because it is though it is a fluid, but it is connecting the whole body. That's why it is known as fluid connective tissue. So what is its function? Its function is transportation of gases, nutrients, waste materials. Now where is fluid connective tissue present? As you all know, fluid connective tissue is present in the blood. Fluid connective tissue is present in the blood and lymph. Now you may be asking about what is lymph. See, when transportation occurs in our body, that is circulatory system, that you will study in class 10 in very much detail. But for now, I just want to tell you that blood and lymph, these are the two types of connective tissue that are present in a circulatory system. Okay, so blood helps in the transportation of gases and waste materials and nutrients, etc. But lymph, what it does, it is the second circulatory system in our body, and that is what it does. It takes the plasma. Okay, it takes the plasma, means wherever there is blood capillaries present in our body, okay, they have blood capillaries have pores in it, and through the pores the fluid that is present in the blood comes out. So that the lymph, what it does, it takes the fluid back into the bloodstream so that the blood may not become thick. So this is the where blood fluid connective tissue is present in the body. Okay, now we will study about the components of connective blood. So, okay, so what are the components of blood? Components of blood. So components of blood, as I told you about the solid material. So the components of blood consist of, first is the plasma, which is the extracellular material. Okay, it is the extracellular material. It is present in the form of fluid. Okay, it is the fluid part of the blood. Fluid part of the blood. Okay, and here only in the plasma only all the blood cells are embedded in it. So it consists of blood cells embedded in it. Means all the blood cells are present in the plasma only. Now the second component is the types. All the types of the blood cells, that is the RBCs, WBCs and platelets. So what are these? These are the components of blood. If you think that blood is a simple red color material flowing in our body, you are correct, but that blood consists of various types of cells, and those cells consist of RBCs, WBCs and platelets. Now RBCs stands for red blood cells. So this is the blood which flows in our body. So this is the red blood cell. Now what are WBCs? WBCs are white blood cells. White blood cells. And platelets are just, they also don't have pigments, just they are present for preventing the blood clot. Means they clots the blood wherever there is excess of bleeding. Now RBCs are the blood components which are red in color. Okay, these are red in color. Why these are red in color? Because of the presence of hemoglobin. Okay, why red in color? Because of the presence of hemoglobin. Okay, hemoglobin, due to the presence of hemoglobin, it is red in color. And what is its function? Its function is transportation of gases, okay, gases and nutrients throughout the body. So this is its function, transportation. Now here white blood cells. White blood cells are of various types. Okay, so white blood cells, what is its function? Its function is that it helps in fighting the infections. It helps in fighting the infections. Okay, means it protects our immune system. Okay, it's like a soldier, it's like a army in our immune system, and protects the immune system from various kinds of infections which may occur. Okay, so this is the function. Now if we compare RBCs and WBCs, the color difference is there because it is having the pigment hemoglobin, but WBCs are white in color because they do not have any pigment called hemoglobin, or any pigment they are not having, that's why they are white in color. Now one important thing is that RBCs lack nucleus. And WBCs, they have nucleus. Okay, so this is the difference you might know, but RBCs, the lifespan of RBCs is 120 days. Means what happens after 120 days, the RBCs gets destroyed, and WBCs, when it gets destroyed after 13 to 20 days, the WBCs get destroyed. So if you think that when these cells are destroyed, so what happens after this? Actually, when these RBCs or WBCs, they get destroyed, they again get formed. Okay, after 120 days, if the RBCs are lost, they are again formed by in the bone marrow. Okay, in our body we are having bone marrow in the thighs or anywhere we are having, there the RBCs and WBCs are formed. So blood components are formed in the bone marrow, new blood components. Now the third component of blood is the platelets. What it is function? Its function is just to help in blood clotting. It helps in blood clotting. Okay, so where does blood clotting? Whenever there is excess of bleeding, whenever there is excess of bleeding, there what it does, it makes a clot and the bleeding stops. So this is its functions. So these were the components of blood, and we talked about the blood, which is the first form of fluid connective tissue, and where it is present, this fluid connective tissue is present in the blood and the lymph.